Yo, we're just back with another one. I'm just feeling very jolly right now. That's why I decided to make this little video. I don't have anything in mind that I want to talk about in particular. I'm just feeling good. So I just thought it would be a good idea for me to kind of speak on here, kind of like how I usually speak on here whenever I'm stressed or angry. Or just, negative, like generally negative. So I thought it would be a good idea to hop on here in a positive mood. Yeah, things are going well. Currently, right, I'm at that position where I'm waiting for I'm always waiting for dudes, man. I'm waiting for my Greek developer to come through for me on Friday. Friday is the day when I'll be receiving a PDF from him with the total cost of the development of the thing, and other like details and specifications and stuff. Just essentially in that PDF, we'll be going through pretty much everything. I'm looking forward to receiving that. I'm glad this is happening. I have like just enough to pay for everything. Well, except for like the website, I have just enough to pay for everything that I need. I don't exactly need a website right now. It will help with like the legitimacy of my website, at least in terms of like the optics of everything, right? It'll help a lot with that. Another thing that I don't exactly need right now is the packaging. And that costs quite a bit. So I'm gonna have to get by with like some bullshit. Like I have stuff here. If you look at the screen, I've got these boxes that I bought some years back. They're not suited for pedals, but if push came to shove, I'd have to like squeeze a pedal in one of these little boxes, So it's not an absolute need. Kind of like how the software that runs the actual, sound of the pedal is a need. That's a need, An enclosure is a need. Packaging, not so much, The website to facilitate future orders, not so much. Right now, I'm facilitating orders through Instagram, like directly with the consumer. So, yeah, maybe once I've made like a couple of more sales, I'll be able to afford to spend a bit on, the website and the packaging and stuff. It's a hot summer we're going through. I've got me like a glass of ice cold water here. I usually don't drink iced water or iced anything. Of my own will, like if we're at a restaurant and then they present me with a glass that has ice in it, I'll drink it, but then I won't go out of my way to put ice in my drink or my water or whatever, because I don't know, I enjoy like, I almost have room temperature water. Well, not when it's this hot, So this particular summer is the exception. I've taken to putting ice in my water as a result of this heat. And my room's pretty hot as well. It's like directly exposed to the sun as soon as it comes up, so I have that on top of the heat. I have the fact that my room gets really hot on top of the already hot day. And I don't ever really leave my room. Usually. So I'm basically cooking in here. Not in a good way. I'm being cooked. I'm cooking in the room. But I kind of use that as motivation a bit because one day I strive to have like air conditioning in my home, like excessive air conditioning. I know it harms the environment, but the environment has harmed us for long enough, you know. I've gone 23 years without air conditioning. How about I go 23 years with air conditioning? You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff I think about. That's why I don't really mind cooking right now, like being cooked in this room, because I know one day I'm gonna be justified in bowling out. You know, I don't mind being cramped. This is like a 3x3 room. I don't mind being cramped right now, because it's gonna justify my spreading out. I'm gonna spread out, dude. Pause. I'm gonna spread out. I'm really gonna spread out. In fact, being cramped kind of puts me off of, like moderate like homes and stuff. I kind of just want like a huge place now. I won't settle. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. But just being in these conditions kind of put me in the headspace where I really I'm not looking to settle for less. I've been jamming with buds for the past 2 days. Just playing music, having fun, Nothing serious. I'm not really taking music serious. In terms of producing it on my own, I'm just having fun. I like playing guitar. They like playing guitar. Messing about on the DAW, playing bass, singing. So I get together with them and it's fun. Ideally, I would like to be in a band, but had the reality, or like had being a band been on the table, we would have been a band by now because we've been jamming for a while now. So if it hasn't happened yet, chances are it's not going to happen. Because one of us has got a solo career or a solo act. One of us is a student who works for his dad, who also kind of has other passions and hobbies, who also just kind of just got into bass. So, I say all of that. I say all of that to suggest that he's not really into bass like how I'm into guitar. I'm hungry. I'm hungry, buddy. I'm hungry to be in a band, but we're not gonna force anything, So it's cool. Yeah, I've been jamming with them. It's been fun. It's been helping me keep my mind off things, at least for like an afternoon. I'll meet up with them at 6, and then I'll get back home at around 11, 12 at night. So it's been helping me keep my mind off things, and I appreciate that because my mind races very often, and it's evident by the fact that I keep making these videos. You can just imagine just how often I think without the camera rolling, without me recording anything, dude. It's 24/7. I think 24/7. So, and that's it's a good thing that I'm thinking so often. I'm thinking so hard, and I'm really detailing my plans for the foreseeable future. But it does get a bit excessive. and it leads me to think about stuff that I can't really change as of right now, because I need to work up to those points in my life. You know, I'll be thinking about them as if it's something that I need to tackle as soon as possible. There's nothing wrong with being prepared, nothing wrong with being informed and having an idea of what you're going to do in the foreseeable future. The problem comes in when you start thinking about it as if you have to attend to it as soon as now, because you're putting unnecessary stress on yourself. And I tend to do that a lot. To give you an example, I'm thinking about third-party logistics in other continents. Yes, it's a good thing that I'm thinking about that kind of thing, but I tend to like overthink about that kind of thing. I've done my research, yes, but I can feel that, like, at points I can feel that I'm on the brink of like reaching out to a lot of these third party logistics companies or 3PLs. Meanwhile, I don't even know if like dudes in that country want the pedal, So you need to like create demand, first before you want to send like 500 or 100 or 50 or 10 units of your pedal to a continent, and in hopes of the people not only knowing about it, and not only being willing to spend, and not only being willing to spend money on it, but actually spending money on it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I tend to overthink, but it's better to overthink than underthink. Is underthink a thing? Better to overthink than to not think at all. Yeah, thinking about logistics in the US and Canada. I took a look at my analytics the week. By the way, that was the first time I had taken to looking at them. I usually don't care about that kind of thing. To be honest, I pretty much just end at views. That's the only kind of analytic that I consider. That and statistics. I mean subscriptions, and maybe the occasional likes that I'll get on my community posts. That's about it. I don't really dive into the super crazy analytics on my YouTube studio app or whatever, but I did take a look, and I found that a lot of my viewers are from the US, a lot of them are from Canada, like 33% of them are from the US, about, I don't know, like 10% from Canada, like 9% from the UK or something like that. And then it just kind of dwindles from there. So those are definitely the countries that I'll be targeting my efforts towards mostly. Yeah, I'm just so excited, dude. I'm happy. I'm happy. Even though I was kind of stressing about the whole website thing, and I kind of sat myself down. And I was like, dude, you've waited for too long to start being impatient. You've waited for too long to start being antsy and like on the verge of making a decision that you're gonna regret once it's time to start paying for the immediate costs. The website thing is not an immediate cost. Your software is an immediate cost. Your circuits are an immediate cost. What else? Your enclosures are an immediate cost. Your delivery costs, because you didn't charge your people delivery or like shipping fees. Your shipping costs are immediate costs. Sort those out first before you try to sort out the website thing. And I know what I was trying to do. I was trying to get something done while I was waiting for my developer to get back to me. because he told me on Monday that he'll get back to me on Friday. And in my head, I was like, dude, you want me to just sit on my behind for a week, essentially, like a whole work week, not doing anything. So I started again thinking about, my websites and stuff, thinking about stuff that I could get done, because I'm at the point in time where I need to utilize my time extremely efficiently, because at this point in time, my guys have waited for far long enough. They've waited for ages. Essentially, they've been waiting since November of 2025. It's Feb now of 2026. So I get what I was trying to do. I was trying to get a couple, as many things done as possible. But I need to be very careful. Because I could knock myself off axis trying to do that. Trying to do that, trying to get as many things done as possible at once could actually set me back, which is the inverted, the opposite, intent. This life stuff is funny. I was thinking about some other stuff, right? And then I kept quiet, right? But then in that silence, I started thinking about the silence itself, and how how silly how silly like a major podcaster would look if they pulled like some nonsense like this. Like if they kind of just were talking for a bit and then suddenly suddenly in the middle of their podcast they just sit back, they they pull out their phone or something, and then they just start scrolling for like for like 2 minutes in complete silence. And then that would be so silly. For some reason, I can get away with doing that because I'm not like a professional or whatever. It's very apparent that I'm trying to gather my thoughts, and I'm just trying to gather my thoughts. I'm trying to give myself some thinking room, But it'd be funny if like a major podcaster was just sitting there talking, and then suddenly they pull out their phone, start scrolling for like a minute and a half in complete silence, while the cameras just keep swapping back and forth from the front camera to the side camera. The premise of that is very funny to me. Very funny. Like, what is this guy doing? what is this guy doing? Why doesn't he just cut the thing? And we're not talking about a live podcast. We're talking about a pre-recorded thing. Yeah, that'd be funny. Obviously, I can't cut the dead air in my videos because I don't edit my videos. I keep everything, all the stutters, all the whatever's, all the times I trip over my own words and whatnot. So that's not really a concern of mine. I'm just looking to make the videos as raw as possible. I like it raw, man. I like it raw. You know. So yeah, I'm a bit happy. I'm happy that I'm kind of stressing about how to spend my funds as opposed to not having funds to spend. I'm glad that's a problem that I'm facing right now. Because I remember when I was stressing about not having funds, and you'll remember that as well. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God that that's the case. At night, like some of these nights, I'll be stressing, dude. And then I'll remember that, wait, dude, you've got money. You've got money. That means you're not really stressing about money. That means you're stressing about how to go about spending your funds. And then that will kind of lighten my mood a bit. Because obviously this is the easier of the two. The two predicaments. I really turned 0 into 1. I really did it. That's the hardest part, dude. That's the hardest part. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm over the hardest part of being an entrepreneur. And that's starting. A lot of people don't have funds. That's why they don't ever start, trying to establish their own thing. I got over that. I want to believe. Right now, I'll say I'm about the point where I'm turning 1 to 2. But I'm definitely not at 0, turning 0 into 1. I'm grateful to God, and I'm grateful to everyone who's bored pedal, man. Because right now it's not about making a profit. It's about planting my feet on the ground. It's about getting my foot in the door. It's about setting up a foundation. The funds will come. The funds will come. In fact, they're gonna come. I'm gonna come. I don't even want to talk about that guy. It's Donald Trump who said that. They turned it into a meme a couple of years ago. I don't even want to talk about that guy. Because currently, he's going crazy. He's like a tyrant. He's ruling his country by an iron fist. With an iron fist. He's nuts. I don't even want to talk about that guy. Because I'd rather just talk about something political. The only reason I brought him up is because I I referenced that little meme. I'm gonna come. I think he was talking about like arriving somewhere, but then the way he the way he said it was funny. What's that? I just got a notification from Reddit, and I'm not even on Reddit really. Don't you hate that whenever you get a notification from a thing that you don't ever use, like an email from a website that you've been on once? Like, dude, what are you doing texting me? Reddit is a shit site. Very shit. Very shit. Very shit. I'm gonna come. Yeah, guys, let's lock in on God for really. Let's lock in on God for really, man. Because I thought to say this because I thought about Donald Trump, right? And then I started thinking about all the other nonsense that's going on in the world and how it's kind of just ruining the mood of everything, you know. And really, the only thing that can assist us in this very dystopian time is the man upstairs type stuff, you know. So let's do that. It's hard for me too. Trust me. I'm not saying this as if I'm some, saint or whatever. It's hard for me too. But we have to lock in. Have to lock in. Yeah. Let's lock in. Let's lock. I'm out. I'm locked. I'm locked in. Thanks for listening. We'll talk. We'll talk.